My name is Patrick Gomez. I am a lawyer, defense attorney. I represent Killer Ace, Ali Cham, known as Killer Ace. You are all aware that he was arrested about 2 days ago at the Serakunda market. Upon his arrest, we went to see as lawyers as to how the conditions were and why he was arrested. He was first transferred to Talinding police station. Then apparently we tried to secure bail. It was difficult to secure bail for him. And then we realized that they said that they can't release him on bail because they are working on orders. And then he was transferred to Karaba police station. I went there yesterday. It was on a Sunday. It was difficult because even at Karaba police station, they said that he was just there as a way of detention, but they didn't even have orders to actually bail him or any of that nature. So then I also was informed that he was also transferred to Banjul police station. So I came to Banjul police station. So when I arrived at Banjul police station today, as you can see, it took me about 30 minutes or more to even get access to Ali Cham as his lawyer. Because when I met the officer at the desk office, he told me that they don't have instructions to actually give anybody a leave to see Ali Cham. So they had to direct me to serious crime. I went to serious crime, and then downstairs they said, no, maybe I have to go to serious crime upstairs. So I went to serious crime upstairs. They referred me to another office. So to the SO's office. To the SO's office, I was referred to the CMC's office. So I made it very clear, whilst journeying through all that process, that it is not necessary. That's not what the law states. It's a fundamental human right. Being Ali Cham's lawyer, I have the fundamental right, and he has the fundamental right to access his lawyer. So it does not even have to be any cumbersome, any difficult. He is not charged with murder. He's not charged with rape. Even if he was charged with genocide, he has the right to be represented. He has the right to see his lawyer. So that was one of the dissatisfaction that I have. I was not even pleased at all in relation to the manner in which the police are treating this matter. So, but eventually I was able to see him because few officers decided that it is indeed his right to see his lawyer. So I saw Ali Cham. I spoke to him. He's in good condition so far, even though he said to me that he was he was taken from Karaba police station all the way to Banjul police station. Well, he said that armed people, security officers came with about almost 2 pickups or so, and then they were armed and they came and picked him up, and he asked them why he was taken to Banjul, but then they could not even give him correct answers. So you can see that that is the situation right now. It is rather unfortunate, but then I understand that the police will generally say that they have the right to detain somebody with, for 72 hours. My opinion, my legal point of view is that is just a general rule. You understand? International law has it, even domestic law has it, that you can't do that if you have no basis to detain someone for 72 hours. It's just to guide you in cases where there are investigations going on, or perhaps there is a need to detain you for one justifiable reason or the other. Then they can do that for 72 hours and nothing more than that. But apparently, this is a situation, so they can't even, no one can even tell you why he's been detained for more than for this long. So my point is, I'm not very happy with the manner in which he's been detained. If they feel that he is guilty of any crime, let them just charge him quickly. And then he doesn't have to be the target of any, that has to be a target or any other thing. So he's a Gambian and enjoy rights as any other person in this country. Yes, so I will invite few questions and then perhaps go on to my next meeting. I think this has a lot to do with the institutions in place in this country. I think with relation to the justice system, I've worked as a magistrate before. I think the Justice Department, if you look at the Ministry of Justice, is much more better than it was. I'm happy with it. I've been on the bench as a magistrate. I'm also happy with the manner in which the magistrates and the High Court are actually treating cases. The judiciary perhaps much more better than I've left it before. That is all I can tell you. But in relation to the police and the way they arrest people, I am not so pleased with it. Yes. Will mean perhaps in addition there is someone who is famed for a particular reason. Whether good reason for some people and in a very bad reason in another class of people. I think that when it comes to fundamental human rights, we have to understand that when I see a particular government, even our own government, trying to boast about the fact that they are giving this government is much more better than the other government, perhaps yes, but don't talk about fundamental human rights, because no government gives anyone these rights. These are inalienable rights. These are rights that you enjoy by the mere fact that you exist in this world. The moment you were born, you have these rights. I cannot tamper with it. No one can tamper with these rights. Even though rights have limitations, yes. If you kill someone, you cannot say, I have the right to move anywhere I want, and you have killed someone. Maybe the law now has the right to restrict you. But these rights that you enjoy, the freedom of speech that you enjoy, the freedom of movement that you enjoy, the freedom of property that you enjoy, the freedom of to life that you have. No one has given you these rights. So these are not rights that the government can boast about that they are giving the Gambian people. Not at all. So I can say that anytime, I've said that this time and again, even when I was on the bench during the IGMS time, and then this is the situation. So him being arrested, I cannot represent him in a case that's ongoing. Maybe I cannot dwell in that case for so many reasons. But apparently, I am not in fact happy in the manner in which the security personnel are going around handling certain things. No matter what crime an individual commits, the person has rights. There should be a manner in which they are going to be dealt with. Even if you're arresting someone, the law is very clear. You even have to inform the person at the time of arrest why he is arrested. Get the point, and then the access that he has to lawyers, to representation of any kind, to family, and also make sure that at that point in time you don't maltreat the person. So these rights must be fundamentally protected, as we have it enshrined in our constitution. Yes.
What we need to speak on here. Yeah, make Gambians understand. It's not about Killer Ace or the rest of the other youths or any specific individual. What we have to realize is ultimately, the protection of each and every one of us is that the government particularly respects the rule of law, abide by the rule of law. That is the only protection any citizen has. Where rule of law is violated, is disregarded in any society, rest assured no citizen or no human being is protected in that society. No matter how big the army is, or how strong the police is, or how big the intelligence agency is. Ultimately, state institutions have to abide by the rule of law. And the rule of law, in terms of arrest, as specified in our constitution under section 19, states that when a person is arrested, the person must be informed immediately why he or she is arrested, and in the language the person understands, and in any case not more than 3 hours. All right? And the detention for 72 hours is not as if it is there for the police to enjoy. What the Constitution says is that person should be brought before a court of law, should be charged, as is reasonably practical to do so. That in any case, if you still have detained, it cannot be more than 72 hours. So 72 hours is not the norm, it's the exception. And when we raise these issues, Gambians got to understand, if the police found that there are individuals who have burned down houses or threw stones or, looted places, that is criminal offense. And those individuals need to be subjected to the law. There's no doubt about that. But even to do that, it has to go according to the law. Now, this protest in Serakunda took place July 24th. Today is August 19, almost a month. Were the police not present when Gorgis house was burned down, or the place in or those police stations in Serakunda? There and then, did they make any arrest? One would suppose that law enforcement would begin to arrest individuals that they've seen committing crime. Since July 24th to date, what investigation have we been doing? Such that you wait until July 16 or 17 to arrest a couple of people and you still claim to be investigated. That is questionable. It is unprofessional. We should have expected that by July 24th itself, the police would have arrested suspects for criminal behavior. We see, as we are talking right now, a protest is taking place in Hong Kong. Those who damage property, they have been apprehended right there by the police, because the police should be present to make sure there's law and order, and anyone who breaks law and order, you get apprehended. So why didn't they apprehend people since July 24th? Now, they can give any reasons, but one is expected, would expect that they would do their investigation, so that by now they would have invited individuals, so that when they finally arrest anyone, it is a matter of taking that person to court. There would not be any delay. So when we allow these things to continue, and Gambians need to be very careful, very cautious when we deal with these things, and not to take things as if, the police are just doing their job. Yes, we support our police. We appreciate our police. We value our police. Our police are very important in our lives. But at the same time, we have to make sure that the police act according to the law. That is our protection, and that is what is in the interest of the police itself. All right? The are arrested right now, according to the same rule of law, Section 19, they have a right to see their lawyer. That is non-negotiable. In fact, the moment they are arrested, Killer Ace or any one of them claims that I need to speak to my lawyer, the police should facilitate that immediately. They should facilitate that because the police is a human rights protection institution. That is the job of the police, to protect human rights. So police cannot deny human rights. So it's so disheartening that Killer A's lawyer would have to jump from office to office just to be able to see his client. That's a clear violation, and all governments must condemn that. So if Killer committed a crime, subject him to the rule of law. And the law is in favor of the police, because only the police can arrest and detain somebody like this, and we cannot do anything about it. I cannot arrest anybody and detain anyone. You cannot arrest anyone or detain anyone. The police is the one that have been empowered to do those things. So the law is in favor of the police. The police don't have to worry. So it's a very simple thing.
Yes, but I've actually read one of your articles where you've condemned the acts of vandalism and all that. And then in fact, if I may rephrase your words, you say that you have really condemned that with the strongest of terms. I equally do. No civilized individual will definitely support anyone that is burning people's houses, destroying their properties, or stealing mobile phones or people's property in their vehicles. No one will support that. But we have to understand, in every protest that you have, that should not have been the case, but in the protest that you will have some people, elements that I will call bad elements, who will come and take advantage of it. That's fine, but that should not in any way distract people from the main goal, from the main issue as to why people there's a protest. If the youths are saying that someone has been killed in custody, I always say, whether the person has died in custody or out of custody, that is not important. What is important is, did anything lead to his death? There has to be proper investigation. There has to be proper investigation as to why that person died. And if it is found that perhaps that person died out of natural cause, there will be a report to that effect. If anyone disapproves of that report, there's a legal recourse to file an action before the High Court or so on and so forth. But then apparently there has to be something done. The mere fact that some people did actually commit crimes, those should not in any way be an excuse for the police to not definitely put a very much big value to people's genuine concern. That's my point. And at no given time will I ever support the actions of the police in making sure that they feel like they can arrest someone because the law states that you can arrest someone for 72 hours. There has been judicial precedent time and again. We have emphasized the point that you cannot arrest someone like that and then pass in for 72 hours just because you feel like the law gives you that authority. That is wrong. There has to be a justification for that. Yes, that's my point. So, yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. And then I will invite Jere. As Uncle Madi just said, it's not just about Killer Ace. So we have information about the other arrested people. He will, shed more light on
Thank
that.
you very much. My name is Jere Obaji, and I'm the founder of Power Freedom and also part of the civil society organization coalition in the Gambia. According to an eyewitness who was also arrested with Killer Ace, they did mention that there were about a dozen, but there are more than 40 people. And in these 40 people, about 3 of them were granted bail. On what ground, we don't know. How could you grant bail to 3 people out of those 40 people that have been separated, some being held at the anti-crime, some at the Caribbean police, and some at Talinding police? And then grant these 3 people bail without even justifying it to the rest of the other detainees. And we ask right now the government of the Gambia, because they're telling us that the orders are coming from the top. Who are the top? The top are the government of the Gambia, and the government of the Gambia is led by who? Adama Barrow. We're asking for an unconditional release of these arrested protesters, and we ask for an immediate release of our friend and our comrade Killer Ace right now. Thank you very much.
I will have Daba too. You have 1 or 2 things to say.
Yeah, no, I think I will just allude to what they just said. I think they're making Killer Ace look like more of a criminal, and I don't think he's a criminal, because man, I have known Ace for over 10 years, and I know that he's somebody who has beliefs and he has principles in whatever he believes. Yeah. Yes, just like Madi said, and the lawyer, nobody is going to stand here and then defend people who goes out and vandalize public or private properties. But you cannot accuse somebody for a crime that he did not commit just because he is part of the group. So, man, for me, the way I see all these things, it's like maybe the anti-crime guy is trying to get back at Killer Ace because of some of the diss songs that he's, putting out there to educate the people. And I think it will be very sad if Gambia is to go this line. And I think government needs to act. Yes, the police can do their work, but like every institution, there are rules and regulations that governs what they do. And the mere fact that we came here since in the morning and we are not allowed to see Ace, goes to show that we are going back to what used to happen before. Even his lawyer had to take more than 30 minutes to see Killer Ace. That's alone is sad. And I don't think like we us as Gambians, we need to sit down and watch these things happen. It's not about Ace. Today is Ace. Tomorrow it could be me, or it could be my brother or my sister. So I think what we are doing is collectively stand up against injustice and then, voice out our concerns so that government will listen. And I hope they listen. Because if it exceeds the 72 hours gives maximum time stipulated by the Constitution, then whatever happens, I think they will be held responsible for the actions of the young people. And that's what all I have to say for now. And I hope they release him before the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll say a few words on behalf of Team Gomsa Bopa. And he's our president, and everybody knows what we have been doing when it comes to people being arrested since the Jammeh days. So we will not relent. It's not just because it's Ace. It's because there are youths that are held illegally. That's what we believe. And we want the government and whoever is responsible for these arrests to understand that we are their children. We are not here to have a confrontation with anybody. All we are saying is just respect the rule of law. That is the main goal. That is the main purpose of us calling this press conference, so that we can shed light and make sure you guys know, as a media, to know what is going on and give you information about everything that has been going on for the last 2 days, which we've already did. And we have different representatives from different organizations who have been showing solidarity with us, and we thank you all for coming. And if you guys have questions, we can open the floor for questions for what Maddie said here, and Jared too, because we have the information about the arrested people. So if you guys have questions for those people too, we will invite questions.
To also highlight the fact that what prompted the protest July 24th in Serekunda is as a result of the death of Usman Dabo. And the Minister of Interior did issue a press statement at the time that they will do an investigation. And it's coming to a month, and there are no results of that investigation. There's no indication that the investigation is going on. So are they engaged now in some selective approach to things in this country? So I think these are all issues that we need to put on the table, and to highlight the fact that all of these relate to fundamental rights and freedoms and to the rule of law. And so long as the rule of law, and I'll keep emphasizing that, and that is the issue why I am here, that the rule of law must be respected. And foremost, the entity that should respect the rule of law is the government itself. Any damage to the rule of law, you endanger society. You threaten national security, you threaten peace and stability in the country. So if there's anything we should say on this matter, it should be that the government should respect the rule of law, particularly the Gambia Police Force. There's no point to keep individuals, for so long in detention, deny them their rights. On what basis? When you have all the resources, you have all the time, you have all the law, the power in your hands to do justice, why don't you just deliver justice? But to continue to rely on this idea of 72 hours, the IG needs to understand the 72 hours, as I said earlier, is not there, kept in your cupboard that you use anyhow. It's not the norm. The norm is the police, should, as soon as they arrest an individual, they should, as soon as possible, take you before a court of law. Yeah. To a large extent, to prevent detention. But where you are detained, all efforts need to be made that as soon as possible, that person is put before a court of law. The 72 hours is just to give you that in any case, you cannot go beyond this time, but that is not the norm. You don't have to wait until the end of that 72 hours, only to even not charge the person, but to even bail that person. It makes a police very unprofessional. But when you abide by the rule of law, we make the police efficient, we make them professional, we protect rights, we maintain law and order. because the rule of law is respected. We would not have been struggling here like this today if the rule of law was respected. What would have expected since July 24th? Investigations would have taken place so much so that by now those arsonists and looters and vandals would have been in court. All right? But to carry things in this manner, and then you pick one individual and jumping him from station to station and separating all of these people, I mean, it looks like a typical dictatorial attitude. This is what we saw how the Jammeh regime was running things. They transfer individuals, a suspect. Why would you transfer a suspect from police station to police station? What is the value? What is the point? For days. Why? What is the difference between Bundum police station and Karaba police station? When the matter where it happened, the jurisdiction, you remove the person from there and take it to another station. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? What justice are you delivering by transferring suspects from station after station, station after station? For what? Or inside the police headquarters, moving them from one unit to the other, one unit to the other. I mean, that is not professionalism. And it's a violation of people's rights. Gambians own the Gambia Police Force. We own it. The Gambia Police Force is there to serve Gambians, to protect us, our lives and our property and our rights. It's a very simple thing. And all the resources have been provided to the police. The law is there in their favor. I mean, they have all the space. The police can move into anyone's house, can arrest anyone, can invite anyone they suspect. That is huge power that is in the hands of the police. Why then fight with a single citizen? What is the point? So this is what Gambians got to realize. Let us insist on the rule of law. That the police abide by the rule of law. Because if they do it to Killer Ace, tomorrow they will do it to Madi. The next day they will do it to Tijan. The next day they will do it to Fatu, and they will do it to Mariam, and they will do it to John, and they will do it to Peter, they will do it to everyone. This is what we went through in the past 22 years. And this is the lesson we got to learn. Let the police know the Gambians' value. They understand the important work of the police. And the work of the police is not magic. It's not superstition. It is not difficult at the end of the day. Because the rule of law is there specifying how you should do this work. So do it accordingly. And then go back home to your family and relax. This is all what we require of the police to act. But not to, subject citizens to such harassment for no value. That is not promoting peace and stability in the Gambia. That is what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. Talking about, we want to explain to people that there is the Kebaseka incident. Yesterday was his 40 days charity. We went there and we actually had a statement that there's a petition that we put out for people to sign. I'm encouraging you guys to follow that too, because we actually want them to carry out an investigation into the way he was killed and bring the people that are responsible to justice. And the other thing is that as a civil society organization, we've already started a campaign, and everybody knew that. That is the No to Police Brutality campaign. And if anybody who is responsible for these arrests thinks that this arrest is going to stop us from doing that, that is just a joke. We know what we are fighting for. We know what we are going through when it comes to police brutality itself. And we are never going to stop to advocate for the end to police brutality as a movement and as a youth organization. I want us to put that out there and make sure people understand that the campaign against police brutality is not going to stop. Arresting people is not going to make us stop that. That is going to go on as long as there is police brutality. That campaign is going to stay here. And at the update that Jerry was talking about, we have about 40 people that were arrested, according to the account of an eyewitness who was arrested too, but he was later released. They have 6 people we have confirmed, and we have their names, their different nationalities. They are at Bundung, and then we have the other 6 that are at Kairaba. But there are 5 at Kairaba right now, because one of those 6 is Killer Ace, who is right now transferred at the police headquarters for reasons that we don't know, and his lawyer don't know. So that is, yeah, the rest are suspected to be at anti-crime. That place is inaccessible. We could not get there to account for those people. But from the eyewitness account, the person that was arrested with them said they are kept at anti-crime. But we haven't had access to those people. The people that that is supposed to be around 15 out of 40. Yeah. So, and the market, they have an association, they have a legal association who are also representing them when it comes to the arrested people. And the president was supposed to be here at the press conference to speak on behalf of them, but he's not around. Just to put that too out there, that those people are also working on their own in ways of things, but we are always coordinating with them and make sure that we are on the same page. And it's just one message out there: respect the rule of law.
So what specifically have the authorities been saying regarding the arrest of those individuals? Have they been speaking out?
As far as I know, there is no official statement out. I will not tell you that this is what this officer told me or that officer told me. We'll have to have an official statement from the Gambia Police Force itself to understand, I mean, what is going on.
Have you been reaching out to them?
Yeah, we are not even allowed access to see, I mean, Killer Ace.
Just to add to that, yesterday we had a meeting with the commissioner of the Caribbean Police, and these people told us that there is a panel of investigators. Who are there? We have no idea. When I came to the headquarters this morning,